mannequin all wet down. I've now switched over into my tail comb. I took out the larger knots with my pick, and now I'm going into my tail comb. The reason I'm going to use my tail comb, this is the best one for making parts in the hair. Now this one, for anybody who has long hair, maybe this will be an obvious video for you, but for many people, they're not used to how to part the hair with a nice clean part. We're going to use lots of different parting techniques when we're going into our rollers and our blow dry, so it'll be important that we can do it now. So when I go in, the first thing I want you to do is just practice doing just straight down the middle. I just want a basic part straight down the middle. If I was to do this, all I need to do is drag the tail comb, never lift it from the scalp, just drag the tail comb straight back onto the head, and then I should have half of the hair moving to one side, and I'm pulling it over, and half the hair moving off to the other. As long as I dragged the comb along the scalp without moving it, without lifting it up, I should have that nice straight part that I created in there. Now the same thing goes, lots of times you're going to want a zigzag part. All you're going to need to do with the zigzag part, still start with your tail comb, put it on the scalp where you'd like to start or finish your zigzags, and never lift the tail comb from the scalp. Simply drag it back and forth along the scalp. I haven't lifted the tail comb up off the scalp, and now it looks like quite a bit of a mess here, but if I just take all the hair that's on the one side of the comb and pull the hair from the other side, I can see exactly where I dragged that part. And you can practice with variations of the zigzag part or the straight part. With this one, if I wanted my zigzags closer together, I simply would take my comb, leave it on the scalp, and zigzag it at closer intervals, back and forth. Take the hair from one half of the comb and pull the other half of the comb gently off to the side, and then you'll be able to see your zigzag part. Okay? Now the zigzag part, the straight part, those are all going to be good. Practice in there too. How would I do a part right on the side of the hair if I want it on the side? Drag that comb along on the scalp, pull the one side over. And I'll tell you what, for all of your blow dry sectioning, for all of your roller set sectioning and your curling iron, I am going to want you to be watching to see that you have a nice straight line. I don't want to see any of the hair being fussy in here, looking like it's coming up. I should see a nice clean straight line for the part. Okay, having said that, I now want you to section your hair. Once you practice that, I want you to section the hair into 4 sections. Straight down the middle, a straight line right from the front to the back, and then a straight line coming up from both sides of the ear, straight up from the back of the ear, so that you've got 4 sections of the hair. So in the front, we want this to be in the middle. Lift up your mannequin, turn her whenever you need. That didn't quite go in the middle. I'm just going to drag that along and all the way to the back of the hair. I never once lifted the tail comb off of the scalp. And now I have this. Now note that I'm also combing the hair close to the scalp. If her hair started to get more tangled in there, I may have to switch into a larger tooth comb. Now at this point, I just want to drag the comb along the scalp, right to the back of the ear. I never once lifted the tail part of my comb. I just simply dragged it along the scalp, took the hair that was on the front half of the comb, and separated it from the hair on the back half. Once you have this combed out and your 4 sections, put your 4 sections up in clips in here, and a nice neat clip up in this section.